Hey, hey, hey. Great morning, you guys. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. It's Saturday morning. Great morning, April. Congratulations to you and Micah and the whole family. I'm so excited. So excited for y'all. So glad that you didn't let those tires stop you guys from making that trip. My God. Hey Jackie, how you doing, boo? I love you. Y'all come on in. We're gonna talk about this thing called life. Mm-hmm. Hey Corey, great day, great day. Yes, I know you are. I know you are, girl. I know you are. Great morning, baby. Thank you for sharing. Thank you, April, for sharing. Y'all come on in and share. Let's talk about this life thing. Let's talk about this life thing. I'm super excited about this for a number of reasons to have this conversation. So y'all come on in. Okay, so let's talk. First of all, today is my baby's birthday. Happy birthday to Reverend Timothy T. Johnson. Happy birthday, baby. I love you so much. And with it being his birthday, we're gonna be celebrating him. We're celebrating him tonight. We're celebrating him today. Different people will probably, bring things by to him. But I celebrate him every day. I think that sometimes, we wait for the big things, the big moments, the big dates, right, to celebrate. But if we celebrate people every day, then those days are just added days, added blessings, right? It's a day when other people can definitely celebrate them, but see, I have no question that every day that I celebrate him. Yes, April. Yes, yes, yes. And I'm super excited to celebrate him tonight with family and friends and to all come together and do that because he deserves to be celebrated. He's celebratable, okay? Yes, Jackie, happy B-Day, brother in love. Come on, come on. And I'm excited that I have a group of friends and family who love my husband. Now, I can't say that I really mm, won. I've had one situation where that wasn't the case, but I know what it's like for it not to be the case, right? So for me, I'm so glad that my family and friends have embraced him and the great addition that he is to my life because he is an addition to my life. Yes, April, we gonna party tonight for 1 hour. We gonna party. Everybody gonna party with him for 1 hour. Then I get to party with him for the whole rest of the night. But I'm gonna give y'all 1 hour. I'm giving y'all an hour, so we're gonna maximize this hour. And I'm gonna tell you why, y'all. Listen, Corey said, "Happy birthday, blessings, Timothy Johnson." Um, I wanted so many. We've got so many firsts this year. We've got so many firsts, and one of the things that I'm real clear on is I want us to um, make sure our foundation is solid by giving ourselves time for it just to be us, for us to spend time together, for us to enjoy one another. For us, like that's really important to me. And so I made a conscious decision about some things that I wanted to just be us. So, not to exclude anybody or to make anybody feel left out, I decided to do the virtual birthday party so that everybody else could celebrate him as well and be a part of his day. Good morning, Dr. Betts. Great morning. Happy birthday, Pastor Timothy Johnson. Corey said, you're the gift that keeps on gifting to him, sis. Yes, I am. And I recognize that. And I recognize that if I don't uh, take care of me, then I'm not going to be able or even willing, I'm not going to desire to keep gifting him. So today, what I wanted to talk about is the fact that, y'all, I didn't even share. Y'all, let me share real quick. Jesus, I done got excited and forgot what I done came on the other phone to do. Hold on, let me share. Because we're going to talk about this. I really want, and I tried to make every birthday an opportunity for me to assess my life. So let me share. Because today we're going to celebrate my baby, but I need y'all to do some stuff for you. We just have tendencies that we have to break out of. Okay. So today I'm talking about why it's important to live every day of your life as a celebration. Live every day of your life as a celebration. It's why, it's important for you to do things that you enjoy. It's why it's important for you to be around people that bring you joy. It's why it's important for you to explore the world, explore life, figure out those things that you want to do, not to have a bucket list, for things I want to do before I die. So you wait until death is looming to start doing the things, but a life list. A list of things that you want to do in your life, places you want to go, things you want to do, people you want to go see, experiences you want to have. I just believe that every day should be lived as a celebration. And when we do that, then anything extra is great, but we don't wait for the big things or the big days or the days that society says are the days that it's supposed to happen in order to do that. Like, live every day as a celebration. Live every day like it's your last. So if today were your last day, right? What would you want to do? Like, what would you want to do? Where would you want to go? What would you want to experience? How would you want to feel? Let's focus on the feeling, because sometimes we focus on the thing, and when we can't do the thing, then we lose that feeling. But how would you want to feel the whole day? I look at life and I see people in gloom and doom because life isn't going exactly the way they wanted. I see people in gloom and doom because they're not where they wanted to be. I see people in gloom and doom, but they're missing out on precious moments being in gloom and doom while they could be changing what they feel. Live every day of your life as a celebration. So yesterday, our sister and brother, Dr. Sam and Dr. Mike Phillips, FaceTimed us. They were getting to go skydiving, getting ready to go skydiving. And she was like, sis, look where we are. Now, Pastor Mike is not the one to be wanting to do all that adventurous stuff. He's not. But he did it. And both of them were in the Air Force. Dr. Mike don't want to be doing all that adventurous stuff. That's normally not him. Dr. Sam, on the other hand, always wants to do some adventurous stuff, some new stuff. She's the one that wants to do that stuff. So, they went skydiving. It was one of her Christmas presents. So they called us to say, hey, we want y'all to go skydiving with us. We got to do it as couples. Da, da, da. My husband like, I'm good. I'm like, babe, I really want to go skydiving. He's like, well, I'm going to video you. But listen, let me tell y'all this. I want you to hear me. I want you to hear me. Listen, there are some things that once you do them, your life is never the same. Skydiving is one of them. And do you know why? Because you have jumped out of a plane. You have felt like okay, I can fly. Now you know what R. Kelly was talking about when he said, I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. It's that you're so close to what seems like heaven, right? And you're out there. If you can do that, what can't you do? I remember when I went to Tony Robbins, I can't remember which one of his sessions it was, but we walked on fire. Now, quiet as it's kept, I've walked on fire before, but I'm just saying. But we walked on fire. And I remember how you have to set your mind in order to do it, right? So I remember as we were getting ready to do it, and it was a little length now. It had a little length to it. We walked on hot coals, right? And they were hot coals, hot. They wasn't, just had a little flicker to them. No, they had let them heat up. They was hot coals. And people would say, well, why would anybody walk on hot coals? What it does is it gives you this knowledge and this feeling that I can do anything. There's nothing that can stop me. So I remember it getting ready to be my turn. Now, listen, this is what you can't do. You can't stand there and be thinking about it. You can't stand there. You just have to do it. And that's what we got to do with life. The reason many of us don't live our life as a celebration, the reason many of us don't pursue all of our passions, accomplish our goals, is because we live our life in the fear zone. The fear zone is the area of your life where you're afraid to do things. And when you allow your fear zone to dominate and to grow, because it grows, right? Then you find your willingness to take risk, to do things that are risky, minimizing, right? So what happens is when you do things like skydive, when you do things like walk on hot coals, be a fire walker, you're like, I'm a fire walker. What? I'm a freaking fire. I walked on fire. You can't tell me nothing. So you really be saying, can't nobody tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing, because you have done something that the majority of people in the world will never get the courage to do. Never get the courage to do it. I'm good. I'm good. Let me stay on the ground. You stay on the ground. I'm going to fly. I'm good. I'm good. My feet might burn. Okay, you stay on the other side. I'm crossing. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Stacy said, happy birthday, Tim. Good morning, Stacy. Hey, Latoya, how you doing, beautiful? April said, fear almost stopped me from what I'm about to do, but I got rid of that. Listen, and this is the thing. This is why you don't need to be around me if you're scary. If you're scary, you either are going to get unscary or you ain't going to be around me. Those are the two options. Why? I'm always going to push the envelope. I'm always going to push the envelope. Why? Fear is false evidence appearing real, but it is the one thing that has prevented so many people from doing the things that they truly desire, from taking risks, from experiencing life. Some things you don't even know you want to do, right? You just know that I ain't doing that. I'll never do that. Y'all know how we say that. I'll never do that. Jackie says, so proud of you, April. So you've got to understand that God has not given us a spirit of fear. If you have fear, that didn't come from God. That is the enemy. That's the enemy. The enemy is the one that produces fear. The enemy is the one that has you in a state of fear. Don't live your life in fear. Fear of what might happen, fear of this, fear of that. You're just walking around living in fear. I refuse to live my life in fear. He said, fire before I jump. Guess what? You can do the fire and then we'll jump. But we're going to jump. Making faces, screaming. Then I'm going to be like this. Oh, I knew I could fly. I knew I could fly. Knew I could fly. I knew I could fly. I knew I could. See, listen, as an entrepreneur, one of the things about entrepreneurs is that entrepreneurs will jump out of a perfectly good plane with no parachute and figure it out on the way down. How do you start a school with no money? Who does that? I started a school, a whole school, a whole school with no money, not knowing what I was doing. But the lives that I impacted, and do you know one of the main things that they learned from me? Don't be scared. Don't be scared. And you never have to be broke because of the gifts and talents that reside inside of you. If finances is your struggle, you need to examine what's blocking you because something's blocking you. Okay? Because God has given all of us the ability to obtain wealth and not just through a job. Jobs give you finances. Wealth comes from other stuff. Wealth comes from your talents. Wealth comes from investing. Wealth comes from doing things that are outside of the box. People who stay in the box, they can have a nice life, but they won't necessarily experience life to its fullest. You can have a nice, safe life. I don't want a safe life. That's not what I want. If I wanted a safe life, I would have stayed a tenured full professor at Tennessee State University because I was a tenured full professor. You can't get any more job stability than that. I told them people, I'm not moving my office again. And the next time I move my office, because y'all don't know who I am. Y'all don't know who I am. Clearly, you don't know who I am. Before I move my office again, I'll move my office off this campus. God told me leave. I said, cool. Bet. I just needed you to see that you could do it. Bet. Bet. I didn't want you to feel like you had missed out on anything. I wanted you to see that you could come back and in a short period of time be where your colleagues were who stayed on the path the whole time. Bet. Because that's the kind of God I serve. I serve a limitless God. We're the ones that put limits on him. And those limits do not allow him to fully get the glory out of our life. And he wants the glory out of our life. So the next time you look at somebody and say, oh, no, I can't do that. I'm not doing that. I want you to ask yourself the question, why? Why? And I want you to dig deep. We got to stop being surface. See, we deal with things on the surface, but dig deep. Really, why? Really, why not? Really, why? Why not? Listen, I said there's one thing that I'm not interested in doing, and that's bungee jumping. You know why? It's not the height. It has nothing to do with the height. It's not that I wouldn't enjoy the adrenaline rush. It's that having a rope around me and being dropped reminds me too much of our ancestors being hanged. That's the why. Reminds me too much of our ancestors hanging from the trees as strange fruit. But it's not the height. It's not the risk. I feel like it would be really emotional for me. There are things that I said I wanted to do, and I'm going to be honest with you. There are things that I could not do in the relationship that I was in. So a lot of decisions I made when I came out of that marriage, I made the decision that I was going to live my life. I live a certain way. I like to live a certain way. You can call me bougie, you can call me whatever, but I expect my life to look a certain way. Like I just expect that. So that's why I would leave my husband and move into over $500,000 townhome because I have a certain way I want to live. My kids, it was so funny. I had a conversation with my daughter because we have almost their entire life, we had really nice houses, right? We lived in really nice neighborhoods. That's because that was something that I chose. I grew up in a 3-room house with no indoor plumbing. I chose to position my children in neighborhoods where they would have different opportunities and be exposed to different people. I chose to live in houses that I really liked and I really enjoyed. I made conscious decisions about that. There's a way I want my life to look. There's a way I want my house to look. There's a way. So I remember having a conversation with my daughter and her saying, well, if you hadn't tried to live in all them nice houses, then, we could have been further along financially. Maybe. But I know how I want to live my life. I want to be excited to go home every day. I want to be excited to pull up in my driveway. If I'm going to pay for something, I want to enjoy what I'm paying for. If I'm going to live somewhere, I want to enjoy where I live. Your atmosphere creates your mindset, right? So if your atmosphere is off, your mindset gonna be off. If your atmosphere is cluttered, your mind gonna be jumbled. It's the way it works, right? It's how our brain is literally wired, and for some people, it's worse than others. For me, it's really bad. So I know that when my environment is jumbled, it is a reflection of what's going on inside of me. When I allow my space to be jumbled, it is a reflection of what's going on in me. I'm jumbled. So, in order for me to be untangled, I have to have a clear atmosphere. One of the things that God has done for me is really worked on my discipline, right? Because I can want a thing, but not be disciplined enough to do that thing consistently, right? So, He's been working on my discipline, working on me being responsible for my environment, me being responsible for creating what I desire. And what I'm telling you is figure out the life you want and then create that. Create the life you want. Because guess what? If you live every day as a celebration, if you live every day celebrating the people you love, loving on the people in your life, if you live every day making the decision to do what's not popular in order to get what other people want but will never have because they'll never be willing to take the chances, take the risk when it doesn't look like it, when their finances don't look like it. They say, well, I can't do this because I don't have the money. I can't do this because we don't have this. We can't do this because we don't have that. Listen, let me tell you something. Teaching at Tennessee State University, HBCUs, I love HBCUs for a number of reasons, okay? And I love being a faculty member at HBCU because I was able to show students what's possible, right? And then it also gave me the opportunity to sow into them, their mindset, to let them know who they are, that they don't have to wait till they get their degree to do great things. They can do great things before they get their degree. The degree is just the paper that adds the icing on the cake, right? So I remember we had some students and they wanted to do a play, right? Meanwhile, I'm in the department where plays are done. And I'm listening to faculty members say, we can't do this because our budget won't allow it. We can't do this because we don't have the money. We can't do. I literally watched those kids put together full productions. And they didn't have a departmental budget. But people in the department couldn't put together full productions because the budget didn't allow it. Now, look, God has given us the ability to obtain wealth. He's given us the ability to create. When we fail to create, we are limiting our flow, our financial flow, our flow in life. We're limiting our flow. Listen, if you live every day living your life in the flow, creating the flow, removing anything that blocks the flow, then you will experience a life that you only put on paper. Yeah, all these vision boards y'all doing, you want to do a vision board? If you're going to do a vision board, I need you to imagine how you're going to feel with these things in these places and then work to produce that. Because see, there's some things that you got to do. There's someone you got to become in order to get what God has for you. And the person that you got to become is already in you. I'm not asking you to become someone that you're not already. I'm telling you that who you've got to become is already in you, and you got to allow that person to emerge. You got to remove the layers of ish that are on you from life that have caused you to be less than who God created you to be. See, this is the truth of the matter. We live our life in a less than state. We live our life in a less than state. We live our life accepting less than what we deserve, having less than what we want. Oh, it's okay. I don't really need much. I need much. I do, because I got a lot of people I want to help. I got a lot of lives I want to impact, a lot of people I want to inspire. I want a little girl or a little boy who grows up in substandard housing, to look at me and to see that I went from growing up in a 3-room house with no indoor plumbing, no bathroom, no sink. Like, I didn't have that stuff. I couldn't just turn on the faucet and get a glass of water. I had to use a metal dipper in a bucket, right? Listen, I'm trying to tell y'all. So when people say, oh, you try to do too much, you want too much, it may be too much for you, but it's not too much for me. I know the standard at which I desire to live my life. I am a king's daughter, so I am supposed to live like royalty. I'm supposed to. Everything around me is supposed to be gold. Everything around me is supposed to glitter. You understand? Anything I touch turns to gold. So listen, you've got to get to the place where you expect your life to look a certain way. Not just on your birthday, not just on Valentine's Day, not just on your anniversary, but I expect my life to look a certain way. People say that my expectations are too high, you know? And I'm not saying that, listen, people say my expectations are too high, but you know what we get? What we expect. Do you know what we get? What we expect. If you don't expect anything, you're not going to get anything. One man can be one way with one woman and another way with another woman. Why is that? The women have different expectations. Do you know why men do a lot of the foolishness that they do? Because one have no expectations. And if we do have expectations, there are no consequences. You teach people how to treat you. That's why when I'm real clear on who I am and my position in the kingdom and in my daddy's life, my heavenly father, okay, in his life, right? So you're not treating me common. No. Mm-mm. I establish the framework for how people are to treat me. You establish the framework for how people treat you. If people aren't treating you the way you want to be treated, you haven't taught them how to treat you. Teach them. It may be too late for some of them, and you may have to lose them, but teach them. Teach people how to treat you. Teach people how to talk to you. Talk to me crazy if you want to. You won't be talking to me. Period. There is a responsibility that we have. A responsibility to set our boundaries. And when we don't set our boundaries, people violate them. But you can't be mad at the people, be mad at you. The people ain't the problem, you the problem, because you don't know your worth. I went through too much of my life not knowing my worth. Too much of my life settling. I'm not settling in this season of my life, and I'm not settling ever again, because I know what God said I am supposed to have. I know who God said I am. I know what I deserve. So I'm very deliberate in doing my part in that. What is my part in that? My part in that is to know what God's word says, to stand on his word, to declare his word, to believe his word, and to walk his word out, even when it doesn't look like it, to walk it out, even when it doesn't feel like it, to walk it out, even when I don't feel like it, to walk it out. There is nothing about your life that you cannot change. Hear me when I say this. Will it cost you? Yes. Will there be people who are upset with you? Yes. Will you lose relationships? Yes. And you've got to decide what is most important. For me, it is that I do the will of my Father. That's number one for me. Anything and anyone that interferes with my ability to do the will of my Father, listen, will be left on the side of the road. Do you understand what I'm telling you? But that's how committed I am to becoming who God wants me to be, to experiencing what God needs me to experience, and to build the life that God has called me to build. I thank God that he sent my husband who desires the things that I desire. who desires to fulfill the will of God for his life, who desires to live a certain life. Because that means that our end goal is the same. If we've got the same end goal, we can work. If we got the same end goal, we can work. And what I've discovered about God is what you do with what you have determines what he releases into your hands. You know how my husband got me as a wife? He took care of the woman that God entrusted into his care. Because he did that, he got me. See, we want to think that God is just going to give us the desires of our hearts without us taking care of what he's already entrusted in our care, what he's already given us. You want a new car? Clean your car up. Clean your car up. Be conscientious about keeping it clean. How you treat what you have will determine what you get. How you treat what you have will determine what you get. Today, I'm celebrating my husband because I love him and I celebrate him every day. Every day I celebrate him. Every day I make a point of letting him know that he is loved. Yes, Kareem, stewardship. These are spiritual laws and principles. Listen to me. When you understand the spiritual laws and principles, then honor. Honor is a spiritual law. Honor, the law of honor is a real thing. If you don't know how to honor people, if you don't know how to honor offices, if you don't know how to honor, how to show honor, you're going to miss out on some stuff because honor will get you in places and get things done that money won't. Honor. The law of honor. Honor thy father and mother, that thy days will be long. Honor. It didn't say honor them if they've gotten everything right. It didn't say honor them if they've never messed up. It didn't say honor them if you agree with their decisions. It said honor. The law of honor is a real thing. The law of honor is a real thing. How do you honor those who have, for whatever reason, in whatever way, violated your trust, not done what they were supposed to do as it related to you, mishandled you? How do you honor them? Listen, I don't know where this is coming from, but let me go on and deal with this. You honor the office. When President Trump was president and everybody was like, that ain't my president, that ain't my president, that ain't my president, I don't respect him, I don't respect him. Listen, did I agree with that man and all of his decisions and his actions? No, but I honor the office. God plants people in positions of authority. You think he could have got in that office if God had not already seen that thing right there? You think God was caught off guard? You think the Republican Party tricked God? There was a reason that God placed him in that office at that time. There was a reason. There was a reason that he was there, because you know what? We were in a stupor. We were going around like the world was all good. Everything's all right. But listen, let me tell you something. And this is a lesson that many Black people miss from Trump's presidency. Trump became president to really push entrepreneurship and ownership. Listen to me. If nothing else, you should have learned that this society rewards entrepreneurship. This system rewards entrepreneurship. It does not reward jobs. It rewards entrepreneurship. They showed it in the money that came forth. How much money came forth. In fact, listen, I want you to think about it. They were handing people a little piece of money, but giving businesses chunks of money. It rewards entrepreneurship. It was designed to push us to a place where we are our source. Okay? We're not relying on big business to be our source, Walmart to be our source, anything else to be our source. But we understood that we have the ability to create wealth. That was rewarded. So guess what? People who own businesses didn't hate Trump. They may not have agreed with everything he did and said, but some of the principles that he moved on, oh, they were on point. They were on point. We've got to stop not maximizing the gifts that we have. God has given us gifts to create wealth. We looking for a job. He's trying to create wealth. We don't believe in ourselves enough. You got to believe in you. Believe in you. Trust the God in you to be able to do and to create and produce. I'm not telling y'all quit y'all's jobs. Don't think that, because I normally have something that just funds my other stuff, funds stuff that I want to do, funds my investments. Like I use a job as like a funding source. It's a funding source, right? To fund the things that I desire, right? That's my funding source right there, right? So it's time, y'all, for us to live life every day as a celebration. Hey, Tasha. Baby, you see your baby said she called you. He probably was on this live. Listen, you got to understand that God is trying to do more in your life. And if he's going to do more, it means that you've got to let go of some things that you've held on to. Some thoughts, some ideas, some beliefs that you've held on to that are not serving you and producing the life that you desire. If it's not producing the life that you desire, you need to reassess its role in your life. If it's not bringing you joy, if it's not bringing you peace, if it's not bringing you the things that you desire, you need to reassess it. Why do we hold on to stuff that is not producing for your life? We hold on to it in case one day we might need it. Listen, I think one of the best things that could have happened for me was losing those 2 storage units, one for the school and one from my house. Now, listen, not that I didn't lose some stuff that I really wanted, but I was going to keep paying that money for what? The beauty of a start over. This is the beauty of a start over. The beauty of a start over is this. You get rid of baggage that has been weighing you down. Angel number 1010. I don't want a life of baggage. I want a life of freedom that allows me to explore life, love, my world. I want to be able to go and move and travel and do and have and be. I want to be able, and I got to repent. I got to repent. I got to repent. My baby said, Mama V. Sometimes he calling me. He calling me. Baby, you go get Joseph for me. Angel number 1010 is associated with joy, purity, unconditional love, and abundance. When this number keeps showing up in your life, it is thought to me that angels are trying to tell you that you are on the right track to receiving these associations. God is trying to do something great in your life. You got to let him. It means letting go of people, places, things, so that you can get what God desires. Can't hold on like this thinking that something is going to suddenly appear. No, it can't even get in because your hands are too tight. But when you open up your hands, you can begin to experience the things that God has for you. And if you don't get that, if you're struggling with that, you probably have some saboteurs and some self-sabotaging stuff that is affecting your ability to do that. Dreaming. He was dreaming. Yeah. And calling my name? Yeah. Because he is asleep. What? Wow. So let go of what you need to let go of. Jump out of a perfectly good plane with fuel in it that isn't having malfunctions so that you don't have to jump out of a plane that is crashing and running out of gas. See, when God needs you to jump, you're going to jump one way or the other. You're going to jump on your free will, your own volition. You're going to jump, or he will allow tragedy and calamity to come to cause you to have to jump. Baby, you better choose your jump. Because when it's time for you to jump, you're going to jump one way or the other. I choose to jump of my free will. I choose to make change of my free will. I choose to position myself for what God has for me and do it now, not in a little bit, not one day, but now. What you want is at hand. The kingdom of God is at hand, but you can't get to it because what? Fear, insecurity, anxiety, doubt, anger, frustration, jealousy, envy. Why? What's stopping you? Figure that thing out. Remove that. And then the world is your oyster. Everything opens up to you. You'll see doors open. Listen, let me tell you something. We're going to Nigeria. My girlfriend is getting married, going to Nigeria in October. And we had to get our passports. I had to get I had to get mine renewed and my name changed. My husband applied fresh, right? He's never had a passport. He was in the military. He didn't need a passport. They went everywhere, right? Just when he was in the military. But he had to get a passport. We applied for the passport. They say that the expedited passport is going to take 5 to 7 weeks or, whatever. And they said, well, when people have said it's backed up and, it may take you some months to get it. Pa-ta-ta. In 4.5 weeks, my husband got his passport. 4.5 weeks. We needed to have our passport for at least 6 months so that we could get our visa. And I remember him saying, well, what if we don't get it in time? I said, oh, no, we going to get it well in time. We going to get it in time. That's why you got to be careful what you speak, and you got to speak what you want and not what you don't want. Stop speaking what you don't want. Speak what you want. Speak what you want and watch it happen. Why? God will require the entire universe to work together to produce it. Everything around you will begin working together. It's like you're in a clock and all the gears are suddenly working the same way that they need to in order to move and position people. It's like you're on a chessboard and God is moving and maneuvering the pieces so that everybody's in the place that he needs them to be in to get you down there to the spot where you need to be. Baby, you better believe God. You ain't got to believe me, but believe God. And if you struggle with believing God, angel number 1111, it's probably because your saboteurs are kicking in. It's probably because you've got some things inside of you from childhood, things that you've experienced, disappointments that you've had that prevent you from believing God. Well, if you want change, take this class and watch what God does. Take the class and let God show you where that stuff is. Let him show you where it is. Because right now, what you're doing is not working for you. And if it's not working for you, don't you want to try something that does? Listen, I'm going to read angel number 1111, but I'm going to use April for an example. Her entire journey for the last year has stretched her. It has stretched her beyond her comfort level. It has stretched her at every turn. She's stretched. But do you know what God did to help her navigate the stretch? He put a Dr. V in her life. He put a doctor. She started just watching my lives, just watching the lives, just watching the lives. That was it, making comments, watching the lives. And one day I said, call me. You need to call me. From that day to this, her life looks nothing like it did. And where she is right now, I'm not saying it's because of me, but I'm telling you it's because of the knowledge that God has given me, the words that he has given me for her, and how she has applied that information. Even down to the trip. Even down to the trip. What happened to those tires made her almost not go on the trip? Her son was like, Mom, no, we don't have to go. Let's just wait. I said, April, go on that trip. You need to go. She went. He loved the school. He made a commitment. You understand? Because the enemy tries to keep you from getting to places where God needs you to be. If the enemy is trying to prevent you from getting somewhere, that's probably where you need to be. Hey, good morning. Were you dreaming about me? Huh? Was I in your dream? What were we doing? You want to say hi to the people? Huh? You want to tell them hi? I can't believe you were dreaming about me, boy. You were saying, Mama V, Mama V. You kept calling my name. What was we doing, Joe? What were you and Mama V doing? Were we on a trip? Huh? Listen, I wanted to spend more time with my grandbabies. Yeah, y'all see Abby? Get up here so they can see you. You don't want them to see you? Oh, you just want them to see Abby. Abby the tiger. Urgh. I wanted a relationship with these boys. They were the ones that I saw the least because, their parents were in basketball season. I was working all the time. I said, I'm making time to build a relationship with them. I knew what I wanted. I knew what I wanted it to feel like. I know what I want for my family, my inclusive family. I already know. I've already been visioning it. I've already been seeing it, right? So I had to start moving in ways that made it possible. See, you got to know that when the enemy comes against you like a flood, that the Lord, our God, Jehovah Jireh, Jehovah Nisi will raise up a banner. He'll raise up a banner, right? So that the enemy can't win. All he can do is cause us to back up. When I started learning the no more sabotage information, when I started teaching that, God began to change me. He changed me. He changed me by showing me where I was believing things that were lies, and it was interfering with my ability to go forward. So I began to kill the lies. I began to take that journey. And then I began to teach others to do the same. And what I've seen in our lives is we are living happier, more joyful, more fulfilled lives. Not lives without problems, because problems are going to come, but lives where we don't allow the problems to dictate our mood. My husband said, I know when you upset because you start doing PQs. Start doing the PQ reps, baby. I be like, honey, get yourself together, get your emotions together, get your mind together. Don't let this hijack you. Don't let it hijack you, not for any longer than it has to. Baby, you control that. That's what I got to tell myself. You control that. Like walking across hot coals, like jumping out of a plane, like you control that. Baby, stop. No. It don't control you. You control it. No. Get hold to it. Get hold to it and watch what God does. You want to see change in your life? Start the change by killing your saboteurs. We be talking about demons and spirits. The greatest battle that we do and engage in is the battle inside of us. And that's what this is about. Killing those saboteurs, those self-sabotaging behaviors, those self-sabotaging lies, those things that keep you in a place where you feel like you're stuck and you feel like you're a victim. You are not a victim. You are an overcomer. But you think you're a victim because you stay in victim mentality. Stop being a victim. I'm not a victim. Have I been victimized? Yes. But am I a victim? No. What has happened to me in my life does not define who I am. It doesn't define who I am. Who I am was already established before the foundations of the world. And God said, I am victorious. I am an overcomer. I am the head and not the tail, above and not beneath, the lender and not the borrower. If I am borrowing, if I am in those positions, if I'm the tail, then what I've done is not operated in my birthright. Last night at the game, my grandson wanted something to drink. He wanted some Gatorade, right? We're at the game, at the NIT tournament. We're on television. Listen to me. We're on television. His mom says, go over there and tell them to give you some Gatorade, give you something to drink. He gets down. He's going to walk over there by himself during the game, behind the player bench to get some Gatorade. Listen to me. I'm telling y'all something. My husband said, he just over there drinking the players' Gatorade. I said, yeah, that's what he's supposed to do. He said, oh, that's his birthright? It absolutely is. This is how my kids move. This is how their kids move. Because I've taught them that you have favor. See, you don't have because you don't ask. When you understand your position, he understands because they know him. That's their baby too. He's not going to be thirsty. Yeah, he can drink whatever he want to drink. He can have snacks. He can drink what he want to drink. Listen, why? Because he's JoJo. JoJo can do that. JoJo goes, gets his drinks. Hey, come back, sit up there. When JoJo show up, I'll be going to give JoJo his time. Yeah, he may be seeing other people. Yeah, but JoJo going to get his time. He going to get his time. He's going to get his picture. My kids are going to be on the screen. They're going to be on the Jumbotron every time. They're going to be on the Jumbotron. You can have it. They're going to be on there. Why? It's their birthright. See, our problem is we don't understand our birthright. We want something, but we won't get it. Big Mama, when Big Mama at the game, Big Mama going to be on the Jumbotron. Mama V gonna be on the, is Mama V gonna be on the big screen, Joseph? Am I gonna be on the big screen at the game? Yeah. You see what I'm saying? You gonna be on the big screen at the game? Yeah. Isaac gonna be on the big screen at the game? Yeah. Yeah. That's what we do. And Mama. Yeah. Listen. See, I refuse to raise a generation of Black children who don't understand the power and the authority that they have. Not to be arrogant and disrespectful, but to understand who they are and to walk in that fully. I don't want them feeling like, well, I can't do this. That's right. I don't want them to feel like they can't do. They can do. The world is yours. Take it by storm. If you don't ever want to work a job, you don't have to. But what you need to do is you got to start a business. You got to start producing so that you don't have to do that. Now, if you don't do that, you're going to be working a job. And you can decide if you want to work a job, if you want to own a business. And I'm not saying that everybody has to own a business, but I'm telling you, he's talking about I was on the Jumbotron because of them. He could have been on the Jumbotron because of himself, but he would not get up and dance. I was like, baby, come on and dance with me. He was like, I don't want to dance. I don't want to dance. Okay. I'm up there dancing. Who on the Jumbotron? Me. He wasn't even ready. Listen, I need you to stay ready, sir. Because if I say I'm going to do it, and I need you to document it for me. Listen, if you're not going to be on there with me, you're going to have to be my cameraman. Which one you going to be? You going to be on there with me or you going to be my cameraman? You going to be my videographer, my photographer, or you going to be on there with me? It's two things you can do. Either one of them I'm good with. But you not being on there with me and you not catching it on camera, I'm not good with that. I'm not good with that. Somebody got to catch it. Okay. Thank you. You like it? Yeah, it's good. We've got to know who we are. I've challenged my baby so much. I know he's like this chick right here. He's been on social media more since we've been together than he has in the whole time that he's been on social media. He's learned things that he didn't know. It's what I do. I pull people out of what they feel like, I'm not trying to do all that. I'm too old to be doing all that. I don't need to know how to do all that. Listen, my mama and my daddy post stories. Both of them be posting stories on Facebook. They're 70-something. They posting stories. My daddy done figured out how to add music. Can't nobody tell him nothing. I teach him how to do stuff with technology so that he can't be in a position or won't be in a position where he says, I don't know how to do it. Well, Daddy, if you don't know how to do it, let's figure it out. Let me teach you how to do it. So then you're not dependent on anybody. You can do what you want to do. We've got to understand that the world is ours and what we do with it is up to us. But listen, I'm getting ready to live mine. Look, listen, I know this. I know that what God is doing in this season, is stretching us beyond our comfort zone. Beyond it. No. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. No. We got to do some stuff we've never done. Go some places we've never been. See some sights we've never seen. Meet some people we've never met. And know that God is directing. Look, I pray that you all take advantage, because I'm doing the 2 for $150. 2 people can take the course for $150. I'm doing it through Sunday night at midnight, right? Sunday night at midnight. And y'all can definitely benefit from that. If you haven't had the class, take it. People will tell you, take it, right? Then, listen, if this word has blessed you, and you're ready to sow a breakthrough seed, go to Cash App $DRV Johnson 777. Cash App $DRV Johnson 777. Listen, it's breakthrough time. Put your breakthrough seed in the ground. Can't move it. You want to be on? Put your breakthrough seed in the ground and watch what happens. Don't you put Abby up in here if you ain't in here. If Abby gonna be in, you gotta be in. You gonna be in? Okay, well, Abby can't be on my screen. He done been on there. That's all the time I'll be getting from my live. So understand that it's time for you to get your breakthrough. Get your breakthrough. Don't miss it. If you want to do the No More Sabotage 6-week supercharge, put supercharge in the comments. I'll get you the link. I'm running a promotion. You can do it for $300. Afterpay is available. Afterpay is available. So you can use Afterpay to pay for it, but you all don't miss it. Don't miss it. The $300 special ends Sunday at midnight. After that, it goes back to the regular price. Look, I know this. I know that what God is doing is superseding our expectations. But what we have to do is meet him in that place, stretch to that place so that we can experience all that God desires us to experience. Look, I love you guys to life and life more abundant. Have an amazing and incredible day tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Pacific. We're celebrating the life of none other than my husband, Timothy T. Johnson. You guys make sure you're on so that you can experience it with us. Help us celebrate him. Listen, I love you guys to life and life more abundant. Be blessed. Mwah.